The United States has $28 trillion in debt. Actually, we have over $28 trillion, and Congress just raised the debt limit. So it's about $29 trillion now. The debt limit was waived until the end of July. And then that's when you started to hear about the debt limit again. You started to hear both parties dig in with their various ultimatums. The Republicans, led by Mitch McConnell in the Senate, saying, no way are we going to help you. The Democrats saying, this is America's debt. You helped cause this debt. You just controlled the White House. You just controlled the Senate. You spent the money and gave the tax breaks that drove up the debt. Now you're going to help us. December 3rd is a really important date because that is the date that also we have another government shutdown deadline. So if you're breathing a sigh of relief that the debt limit has been remedied this week by Congress, you can only feel relief for about 7 weeks because once again, the fiscal cliffs will be right up in our face, and there's no real path yet to handling that. And the same arguments and the same ultimatums still stands. They have just punted once again a little farther down the road. You punt into December 3rd, and then we might see ourselves, December 3rd, there's no deal. At the very last minute, Congress decides we're going to maybe punt to December 13th or Christmas Eve.
Even getting up close to the deadline with a lot of brinksmanship can result in the U.S. credit rating getting downgraded.
We saw this during the Obama administration. The U.S. credit rating was actually downgraded for the first time in U.S. history when Republicans in the Senate said they weren't going to touch the debt limit without some kind of spending constraints. Just the strife spooked investors enough that it downgraded the U.S. credit rating and hit the stock market. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has been warning in recent weeks and months that both parties go head to head on this, that could happen again. For the average American, that's not just something that's going to affect the government's reputation as a borrower. It would affect interest rates for regular people if we actually reach that point of default. And your 401k could take a hit if the credit rating of the United States were downgraded. And if we reach that point where the nation really defaulted on its debt, which has never before occurred in U.S. history, it would be devastating for the global economy, not just for the country. Most people who are observers of the debt limit and fiscal fights would tell you that this moment doesn't feel like one where the country will actually reach that point of defaulting, especially because we just saw this week the House pass this debt limit fix for 7 weeks that Republicans in the Senate did eventually back last week. So you saw Republicans at least not willing to have a default. I don't know what the terms will be in the next few weeks to kind of get Republicans on board, or for Democrats to maybe come around to doing it on their own. But the path to some kind of remedy by December 3rd is totally unclear still, and there could be a lot of ground closed on negotiations on broader things in those 7 weeks. You could be hearing a lot more about the debt limit.